Hey there, artists. I am so excited about this next project we're going to do together. We are going to use some recycled supplies to create some cats or dogs. You get to choose. You could even create your own animal, but in class we're going to be doing cats and dogs to help keep it simple. This dog actually looks like the dog I have at my house. Her name is Abby. I used some book pages and some scraps of black to assemble the whole thing. For your supplies, you're going to need construction paper in whatever color you want, some black paper. This is just a scrap piece. It doesn't have to be this big. Some recycled paper. I have some old book pages. These are pages from books that were too damaged in our library. They were going to be put in the recycle bin. So rather than sending them to the recycling plant, we are reusing them to create some art. You're also going to want some crayons, any kind, and some kind of glue. We're going to start with our colored paper. Let me move my things to the side. Now this paper has two sides. It's just a scrap piece. I'm going to use the orange side today. And your crayons. The first thing you want to do is design a background for your pet. When I first started doing this project many years ago, I left the backgrounds very plain. And our pictures looked great. But as we've grown and tried different things, it's become one of my favorites to have people decorate their background. So we're going to do that first. It can be a simple design, like this one, that's just lines and dots. This one was scribbles. So it can be as simple or as complex as you want. I've had people do flags or patterns. You can make whatever kind of design you are dreaming up. I'm going to just do some zigzags. All the way across. I think I'll add some hearts. Now, I'm going to put my crayons away and get my papers out. I'm going to start with my book pages because I want to start by making the body for my animal. The body should take up most of a nice big piece of paper. You want the body to really fill up the space. So I'm going to make my body just a nice round hill kind of shape. And I'm going to go ahead and glue my body down because I don't plan on having anything behind it. But I am going to leave the edges a little loose. So I only put my glue in the middle. I left some space around the edge in case I want to slide like a tail or something behind my body later. Next up, you want to think about the head. Now, looking through all my different samples, because I love this project so much that I keep lots and lots of samples. This head is just a half circle. The ears are added on later. This head is a big oval. This one's an oval, but I turned it sideways when I put it on my paper. That's two. There's an oval for my cat there. This dog has a rectangle. This one's pear-shaped. It's small at the bottom and then gets bigger as it goes around the top. This one's a big hill just like the body. A circle. A wobbly rectangle. You could even make up a shape like I did for this one, because cats and dogs come in all shapes and sizes. If you have your own pet, maybe you should look at its head and study it and see what kind of shape it is. I'm going to make a dog because dogs are my favorite. I'm just not really a cat person, but as you can see in my samples, I have made a few cats too. And I'm going to make a dog with a wobbly rectangle for a head, I think. And then I have to decide, is my dog tall and sitting up really high? Or is my dog kind of short and squat? Does his head go this way? Oh, that's an interesting shape. Maybe to the side a little. Try different ways until you're happy with the way your head fits on your paper. Then when you're happy with it, add your glue. And again, I kept my glue in the middle so that if I wanted to slide something underneath, I could. I kind of like it leaning like this. Next comes the ears. You can make your ears at the same time by folding the paper. So I'm going to make two different sets of ears because I don't know if this dog looks more like a dog that would have triangles for ears or big, long, floppy ears. So I'm going to make some wobbly triangles. And I'm also going to fold my paper the long way and try out some wobbly, floppy looking ears too. The nice thing about using some paper that was going to be recycled anyway is that I can try a lot of different shapes and designs. Now, my triangles are a little too big. They're sticking off the paper. That's okay. It could do that, or I could always cut them a little smaller. They do look pretty good. Now let's try these. Oh, I do really like that. I think I'm going to go with these today. I like my long, floppy ears. I'll add some glue. Now that I have a basic shape, I can use the black or any color you have at home, but at school we're going to be using black. I can use the black to make the details. I'm going to start with the eyes and the nose. Now for the nose, I'm just going to cut a wobbly rectangle. That looks good to me, and I'm going to stick it down. The eyes are a little bit trickier. Just like we did with our ears, we're going to fold the paper first so that when we cut it, we cut two at the same time. And I can go ahead and put glue on those. But my eyes are not done yet. I need to add layers to them. I'm going to use these ears that I decided I didn't like. and I'm going to cut a smaller circle. Now before I put glue on this, I have to test it out. I have to put it down and see, I think that's a little too big or too small. I might need to cut a whole new one. It's a little too big, so I'm going to trim it a little, cut a little bit off. Okay, I like that a little better. Now I can put my glue, and I'm just going to put it on the black this time. And stick my paper. But my eyes are still not done. I need one more piece of black on top of those eyes to really make them stand out. So I'm going to get one more piece, and I'm going to cut a small little pupil for my dog's eyes. Now when I'm using something small like this, it's easier to put the glue straight on the paper instead of on the little tiny piece. There we go. Now we've got some cute eyes. My dog looks kind of sad. I think it's time to dress it up with some designs. So I'm going to show you some samples of different ways you could finish your dogs and cats. You can add a mouth. You can put pieces around the ears and stripes on the body. You can add tails. If you're making a cat, whiskers, little tongues peeking out, pieces inside the ears. This dog has some polka dots. This one's got a whole belly of black, and then I cut two pieces to look like its legs to put on top. I even added a bow to this dog. So you can add lots of different things. This cat has a collar with a little fish on it. You can decorate your animals however you want using that black paper. I hope you have a great time creating your new paper pet. I can't wait to see it. Make sure you send me a picture through